All right, get ready for this one because today's deep dive, it's going to pull at your heartstrings a little bit. We've gotten a ton of requests to take a look at The Present, that animated short film. And on the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, right? Boy, puppy, butt. As always, you know us, we're going to dig a little deeper and uncover those hidden gems, the stuff that makes this film so powerful. So,
Absolutely. I mean, it's really incredible how much emotion they pack into such a short runtime. The Present, it's like a masterclass in visual storytelling. Like you really have to pay attention to every detail. The lighting, the colors, it all has meaning.
that's so true, and it makes me think about the way the film uses darkness and light. Right from the beginning, we see Jake in his room, and it's dark, like really dark.
Yeah, it's not just dim lighting, it's almost oppressive.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, that visual darkness, it reflects Jake's emotional state. Like it's not just that he likes video games, he's isolated, shut off from the world.
Like he's literally and figuratively shutting everything out. And then boom, out of nowhere comes this super energetic puppy. It's like someone cranked up the energy level and flipped on a light switch all at the same time.
Yeah, and that contrast, it's so intentional. You've got Jake surrounded by this darkness, and you
Yeah.
have this puppy who's like radiating light and pure joy. Even the puppy's bright red ball, it becomes this symbol. What do you think it represents?
Well, I guess on a basic level, it's just a toy. But yeah, I see what you mean. It feels like it's more than that. It's like a little beacon of hope. Like a symbol of the joy and connection that the puppy's trying to bring into Jake's life.
Exactly, that's it. And you notice how the puppy, he never gives up on that ball. He keeps bringing it back to Jake.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, hey, look, there's something good here. Don't ignore it.
And that persistence, that never-ending optimism, it starts to wear down Jake's walls. He goes from annoyed to curious, and then finally we see just a glimmer of a smile. That's the power of resilience, right?
It really is, but don't forget Jake has challenges too. We see that when he finally gets up to play fetch with the puppy.
Oh man, that moment when we see Jake also has a missing leg and he's using crutches, it changes everything, like suddenly the whole film takes on a new layer of meaning.
It's not just a surprise for the audience. It makes us look at Jake differently. Maybe he wasn't just being a grumpy teenager, Maybe he saw a part of himself in the puppy's difference. And it was something that he hadn't come to terms with yet.
And the way the film uses color in that moment, it's subtle, but as Jake stands up, there's this warm golden light. It's like the darkness is literally being lifted away.
See, that's what I mean about The Present. It's not just telling us a story. It's using every cinematic trick to make us feel something.
So we've got darkness and light representing those emotional states. We've got the red ball, a symbol of hope and persistence. And then this incredibly powerful shared experience between Jake and the puppy. What else is there?
Well, this is where the film really gets into some deeper stuff. We're talking connection, acceptance. But more importantly, how those ideas, they're shown visually. They're reflected back to the audience.
Okay, yeah, now I really want to hear more. Tell me everything. So we've talked about these visual metaphors, like how the film uses darkness and light. But I feel like there's got to be more to it, Like what's the bigger takeaway from The Present?
Well, I think this is where the film, it goes beyond just a simple story about a boy and his dog. It starts to make a statement about how we deal with things that are different, how we react.
That's true. It's easy to focus on the cute puppy, but the film is really making us think about ourselves. Like, how do we react when we come across something we're not used to?
Exactly. Think about how Jake reacts to the puppy at first. He's disappointed, maybe even a little mad. He just wants to push the puppy away.
Yeah.
How often do we do the same thing in our own lives, right?
Yeah. It's like when we see something different, our first instinct is to judge it or put it in a box or just avoid it altogether.
Right. But the film is challenging us to think differently. It shows us how powerful it can be to accept things as they are. Not just accepting the puppy, but accepting Jake too.
And that acceptance goes both ways, right? Like the puppy, he doesn't judge Jake for being hesitant at first. He just keeps offering that red ball, like a little symbol of connection.
It's a beautiful way to show what unconditional love and acceptance look like.
Yeah.
And through that acceptance, they both find a place where they belong.
It's making me think that red ball, it's not just about hope. It represents connection too, like reaching out and offering something of yourself.
That's a great point. And you see how the way they use the ball changes in the film. In the beginning, it's just a toy. But as Jake and the puppy connect more, the ball becomes something they share. It represents their bond.
Yeah, like in that last scene where they're running and playing fetch, the red ball is just this blur and it's like it's connecting them.
Ugh. Exactly. You can see their relationship growing through that ball. And it reminds us that connection isn't just about being near someone. It's about sharing experiences, emotions, and in this case, even a simple red ball.
I want to go back to what you said about the film being a commentary on how we handle things that are different. It's not just about disability, though, is it?
No, it's about anything that makes us uncomfortable or hesitant. Someone from another culture, different beliefs, even just someone who looks different than us.
And the present wants us to look past those differences and see that we're all human, basically, like connection and understanding. They're possible even in the most unexpected places.
That's a message that goes way beyond this film. Actually, you sent over some stuff about other short films with similar themes, like Ian and Louis' Shoes. What did you think about those?
I was blown away by how they take these complicated ideas about inclusion and understanding, and they make them so powerful and easy to grasp. Like Ian, for example, it shows the ups and downs of a kid with a disability who just wants to fit in.
Right, and Louis' Shoes gives us a glimpse into the world of a boy with autism, so we can understand his challenges and how he sees the world differently.
And then there's Cuerdas, which is about this beautiful friendship between two kids with really different abilities.
All these films, alongside the present, they create this amazing collection of stories that celebrate diversity and make us question what we think is normal.
It's like they're saying, hey, difference is everywhere. It's what makes us human. So instead of being afraid of it, let's embrace it.
And let's not forget the amazing talent behind the present, Jacob Frey. It's incredible. He made this film as a student project. Talk about passion and creative vision, right?
I know, and it's even cooler to know that because of the present, he's gotten to work on some of the biggest animated movies out there.
Yeah, from Zootopia to Frozen the Second, and even Moana. His ability to show emotion and meaning through animation. It's touching people all over the world.
It's a real life success story. This talented young guy puts his heart into a project, and it ends up launching his career and inspiring millions of people.
Yeah. It just goes to show that even small acts of creativity can have a huge impact on the world. Just like a three-legged puppy and a red ball.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Symbolism, themes, even the impact the present has had in the real world. But before we wrap things up, I think we need to circle back to that main idea of connection and acceptance.
Absolutely. This isn't just a cute puppy story. It's a powerful reminder that we all want connection. We all want to be accepted for who we are.
And that even the smallest act of kindness, like a wagging tail or a puppy who just won't give up on sharing his ball, it can completely change someone's life. Makes you think, like, what if we all just tried to be a little more open-hearted? What if we all focused on the good in other people?
It's a really nice thought. Imagine how much good could come from that kind of compassion, understanding.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But that last scene with Jake and the puppy playing fetch, it really sticks with me. There's just so much pure joy and freedom.
Yeah, it's like they've both found something, like a sense of wholeness that goes beyond their physical differences.
Yeah. And that reminds me of what you said earlier about the film's title, The Present. It's not just a catchy name. It's a reminder to be present, to really savor those connections and experiences.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get lost in the past or worry about the future. The present is telling us to focus on right now, to find the joy in the little things, like playing fetch with a three-legged puppy.
Or, having a deep dive conversation about a brilliant short film.
Exactly. And speaking of deep dives, I have a question for you. What if you were making a sequel to The Present? What kind of adventure would you send Jake and his puppy on? Something that explores all these themes we've been talking about.
Ooh, okay, that's a tough one. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens when Jake gets older. Maybe he starts facing some new challenges because of his disability, and the puppy helps him through it.
I like that maybe Jake even becomes an advocate for inclusion, and he uses his own experiences to help other people embrace their differences.
Or maybe they adopt another animal with a disability, and their family grows, and that message of acceptance spreads even further.
So many possibilities. That's what's so great about stories like The Present. They make us think and imagine a better world.
Well said. And on that note, if anyone out there has any ideas about what breed that awesome puppy is, let us know on social media. We want to hear your theories.
Happy watching, everyone.
And remember, keep sending us those deep dive requests. We'll see you next time.